I don't have it to pick against Barcelona. I picked them to win the Champions League, and I think they're going to do a league Champions League double. They might not win Copa del Rey. Atleti might even knock them out. But I think they're going to win the league. I think they're going to win the Champions League.
La Liga, it's been absolutely brilliant so far, particularly between the three sides at the top, Barcelona, Real Madrid and Atlético Madrid. So how did we get here? This is through 10 matches, the top 5 this season. We had Barcelona top of the tree by 3 points, 27 versus 24 points for Real Madrid, and Atlético were quite a long way back at this stage on 20 points. Then, after 20 matches, Real Madrid were top, 46 points. Atlético had started to make their climb. They were on 44 points in second, and Barcelona a little bit further back after a disappointing period for them on 39 points, and they were in third. And then this is where we are currently in the La Liga table. Of course, we have Barcelona at the top. They're on 60 points, so level on points with Real Madrid, but Barca on top by virtue of that head-to-head record. And Atlético Madrid, after their defeat against Barcelona at the weekend, they are 4 points back in third on 56 points. Let's start by talking about the team that's in third at the moment, because they were in the title race for quite some time. Do we feel now, particularly after the way they played against Barcelona, I know it was late goals that got Barcelona all 3 points, but do you think also psychologically that's put Atleti now out of this conversation for the title?
I think you look at their position in the table. If they win, it was a complete 6-pointer. If they win, they're above Barcelona. And yes, Barcelona still have to play their game in hand, but then you put the pressure on them to go win that game in hand. Instead, they're now 4 points off the pace, and it's devastating. I think it really is devastating. I think for them, they're probably looking at that Copa del Rey second leg that they'll have at home in their place to go and knock Barcelona out of the competition and then maybe play against Real Madrid in the final. But I think it's a hammer blow. When you consider that they're 2-0 up in the game, they were able to find moments to attack Barcelona's press, and Barcelona ultimately is just too overwhelming. And that can feel like one of those that's not just about the game. It's about, well, this is the standard that Barcelona can hit, and you just can't hit it. And I think Barcelona have shown in a ton of games this season, even when they're behind, they just go and go and go. They're so creative. They're so good attacking and going forward. It's nearly impossible to slow them down from a goal-scoring point of view. Yesterday was the 20th time that they have hit for 4 more goals in a game this season. 20 times they've done this. It's remarkable how much attacking talent this team has, and I think Atlético has probably just about run out of rope in the title race.
Yeah, clearly mathematically they're not out of it, but what a psychologically damaging week, both in the Champions League and then also in La Liga. Both of those games, the way that they happened, I think will have been, as you said there, a sort of killer blow for Diego Simeone and his side. So if we say that we agree that it is between Real Madrid and Barcelona at this point, who do you think is in a better position to go perhaps win out from here? Who can go on one of these all-time runs and go and seize the title? Barcelona or Real?
Well, I think right now, looking at the positions that both teams have, I think they probably have the two, this is going to sound harsh on Arsenal and Borussia Dortmund, the two easier games in the Champions League. I would say they're significant favorites to go through it. Certainly Barcelona is ahead of Borussia Dortmund. They're just a much better team. I think Real Madrid are a better team, not quite by as much, but by a distance against Arsenal. So I think the biggest thing is how you manage both of those situations. I think Real Madrid has a bit of a depth problem when you look at the issues that they have in defense. And I think in the overall, it's not a very deep team of top-level pros that are performing well. Barcelona will have a lot of games to play. I think they'll have that difficult second leg as well. I don't see either of these teams with the games remaining. There are 11 games to go for Barca, and there are 10 games to go for Real Madrid before the end of the season. With all the Champions League and all the league and playing in a major cup final for at least one of them, you think Real Madrid's getting through ahead of Real Sociedad. I just can't see them going 10 straight wins. I can't see Barcelona going 11 straight wins. It's kind of who negotiates those down periods a little bit more, who's able to rotate a little bit more. We learned today that Barcelona, you see there, March the 27th, this is a makeup game. This was the game that was supposed to be played about 10 days ago on a Saturday, where the club's team doctor passed away before the game, and so they didn't play the game. They've rescheduled it for Thursday, March 27th. For context, Brazil play Argentina Tuesday, March 25th at 8 p.m. in Buenos Aires. Rafinha is going to have to get on a private jet and go across the ocean and somehow maybe make it in time for this game, but probably not.
He needs a rocket ship.
Right, exactly. And so you get straight into it. And these are just in La Liga. They play also soon on the 27th. They play on the 30th, and then they play midweek, the 3 straight midweeks in Copa del Rey and the 2 legs of Champions League. I just can't see anyone under those circumstances performing at that high of a level. There's going to be drop-offs. There's going to be games where you look at the fixtures, oh, Barcelona, surely 3 points, and they're not going to win. And I think the same will happen to Real Madrid as well down the stretch. There's just too many big games and other competitions for that not to happen.
We've talked a lot this season about the youthful exuberance of this Barcelona team, and obviously they were forced into it by some of the financial difficulties, and it worked well for Hansi Flick to have these exciting young players playing so well for him. But do you ever get the sense that come crunch time, that might work against him to have this lack of experience in his team? Apart from, obviously, you've got Lewandowski and a couple of other players who are supremely experienced, but the core of this team is pretty young. Pretty young and not really a lot of major honors under their belt. They won the league 2 years ago, but it's not a team that even really, for me, has been a genuine contender in Champions League since pre-COVID. Since maybe Barcelona had that aggregate lead overturned over 2 years against Roma and against Barcelona. I don't think they've been a contender to win that competition since then. And so I think there definitely is that feeling of you have to carry the weight of expectations. And I think as well, it's not even just necessarily about the youth. I think it's also about their style of play. I think they were brilliant from an attacking point of view from minute 1 in the game against Atlético. They didn't convert some of their chances. That happens to them sometimes. But the biggest thing is they leave themselves exposed. Look at how they give up the second goal in the game. Conor Gallagher has the easiest red carpet pass to play to Alexander Sorloth because the 2 center backs are alone at the back. 1 ball over the top. It's, as long as it's well timed, you can unsettle this Barca team. So for me, there's sort of a volatility in the way that they concede goals. Yes, they can be suffocating on their best day and go at you, but they're going to have to do that for 60, 62 games over the course of a season. It's too many games to play that style and not have leaks. And so that for me is the concern is, stylistically, can this Barcelona team, with as good as they are going forward, lock things down at the back enough and be as suffocating in the forward press? And I just don't think that they can. So that would be my concern. It's, yes, inexperience in part, but also I think the volatility of their style of play. With all that being said, who's going to win it, Barca or Real Madrid? I keep almost against my better judgment because of the youth. I love this Barcelona team. Yeah. I love watching them play. I love their style. And I think on the biggest nights, and realistically, the biggest night that there is left in this season, we're talking just about the league, is May the 4th when Barcelona play Real Madrid in El Clasico. And that might determine everything. And I just feel like on the biggest days, Barcelona's team, I know this is Real Madrid's entire identity, but Yamal, Rafinha, Lewandowski, Pedri, that front four, so difficult to deal with. I just can't see. I don't have it to pick against Barcelona. I picked them to win the Champions League, and I think they're going to do a league Champions League double. They might not win Copa del Rey. Atleti might even knock them out, but I think they're going to win the league, and I think they're going to win the Champions League.